All right, we are live and ready to talk about something that you need in your life. And awesome, awesome. Okay, let me turn my phone off. All right, what's going on? I want to bring some awareness today. Give you a quick training. Just have a conversation. All right, let's have a conversation. I always enjoy being able to share, add value, hear your request, things that you're struggling with. I want to be able to help. I think the last time I was on, I talked about cholesterol myths. So make sure if you didn't catch that to catch it, it's on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to my page because you'll get information about when I go live. And this is where I do the majority of my trainings. So make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications. I'll just kind of be looking through the chats to see if I see any questions. I want to talk a little bit about investing today. And I want to bring awareness and I know some people won't listen and there's others that it will resonate and it will change your life. But honestly, a lot of people are not paying attention to their opportunities that are right before them. So I want to kind of dig a little bit into that and bring some awareness because if I don't educate you on these matters, it will be hard for you to make the right decisions, and you'll have a lot of fear about what is ahead. And you need to prepare yourself. I'm telling you, trust me. I am really screaming it from the mountaintops that you need to start investing. And if you don't, you are going to fall behind. I know for sure, because the scripture tells us that there will be trying times ahead. There will be situations where you won't have enough resources if you don't start to plan today. And I'm not saying anything's going to happen overnight, but I'm just saying if you're living long enough, you're going to have rainy days and days where things happen that's beyond your control. And if you're not set up for that, that's going to be a problem. Number two, you are supposed to be building your life and making sure that your children and your children's children have a legacy. And if you're blowing it off on a bunch of stuff and not taking time to educate yourself and grow up, I would say, because it takes an adult mindset in order to not spend everything that you don't have really, just because you want something right away. It's an impatience, and so I want to sober you up a bit because I know many of you, some of you all have started the process, but I know many of you all haven't. And I know what it took for me, for someone to just keep saying it over and over. Like, here's what I think. I see a lot of videos and it's just on YouTube and social media, and it's just a lot of stupid stuff that goes on in people's world. And the culture would rather give videos of people twerking and oh, who twerked the best and all of this other stuff, and think that that's sexy, and it's not. It's actually disgusting. But what is sexy is getting in a culture where everybody can ask, hey, so what assets did you buy last week? How much do you own in the stock market? How many businesses do you own, right? What cryptocurrency do you have? What real estate is in your portfolio? When you can have those conversations, those to me are sexy conversations. And I'm trying to bring the new sexy back and bring awareness to that because it's just some dumb stuff that is occupying people's world, their minds, their life, their energy. And it's time to move on and do things the right way, right? Okay, so here's where I want to start. I want to start with really just saying that with investing, you have been investing. Let me say that you are investing. Okay. You just may not realize that you're investing, but you are investing, right? You've been buying stuff, if I asked you in the last year, how much did you spend on clothes, food delivery, trips, hair, nails, gadgets, birthdays, brunches, movie theaters, you probably would have no clue. Just because that's just people don't pay attention to that. But if I ask someone with assets, hey, what assets did you buy in the last year that gave you a 300% return? Trust me, they will know. right? Or how much did you invest? How much did you invest in something that paid you back? Like people will know because that's more significant to them. Okay, and the reason why is because spending has been normalized. It's desensitizing, and multiplication and exponential growth and investing is not. And what we've been conditioned to do is to consume and not compound. I talk a lot about compound growth. We've been conditioned to survive, not steward, and to work for money and not let money work for us. Okay. That's what we've been conditioned to do. And even if you can get more money and more resources, you're if your mindset isn't where it needs to be, you're still going to utilize the more with more consumption, with more spending. You're going to use it on things that don't matter because you need the mindset in order to do this, right? So here's what I want to ask you is because the truth is every single dollar you're spending is, you know what, listen to this. Really, if you looked at it like this, every single dollar that you spend is casting a vote for your future. If you looked at it like that, would you change things? You know what I mean? A lot of people are voting for the same place I've always been. The same place I've always been, over and over, round and round. What I really challenge you to go and talk to some people in the, is it baby boomers? I'm trying to remember what late 60s and 70s. Talk to some of them and tell them and see how they're living off their retirement. Just talk to them. You might get actually discouraged and say, I don't, what you need to find out is what you don't want to live like. Okay. And this is where the shift begins. And it's with a question. Is what I'm doing with my money, is it multiplying or is it just maintaining an image? Because a lot of the stuff that we do is to maintain image. And listen, I do want you to know you don't need more, you don't always need more money. Wealth does not start with more money. Hear me out. Wealth starts with a different relationship with what you already have. Okay. And to be honest, listen, there's nothing wrong with enjoying your life with what you have. But let me ask this, like, what's the ROI on the last thing you spent $1,000 on? What's the ROI? And if you don't know, it wasn't an investment, it was just spending. Okay. And that's how most people live, is spending, spending, spending. Now, I want to clear up something because investing is not for rich people. And when I start talking about investing, some people think they got to have a lot of money, and you don't. You can start investing with $10. You can start investing with $50, $100. Really, you can. Investing is simply putting more money, energy, or time into something with the expectation of a return. Okay. Let me say that again. Putting money, energy, or time in something with the expectation of a return. Wealth will start with a different relationship. Yes. Hey, Bree. So that could be, let me give you some examples of investing. Or investments, so that it is very broad. Like, I mean, in the sense of like, there's a lot of different things you can invest in. So it doesn't have to be like, you don't have to have a lot of money. Investing can be different. You can have different angles of this, but I just want to make sure that you understand that you should be investing more than you're consuming. Okay. So that could be like the stock market, a business, really. And in the stock market, when you invest in stocks for good businesses, that means you own a portion of the business, right? I never forget, I was about to buy a couple of years back, I was about to buy some a pair of I don't know, some kind of Louis Vuitton something. Anyway, I decided not to, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to take this money and invest it in some Louis Vuitton stock. And I did. And I cashed out when when I had a profit. But it was amazing to decide, okay, I'm not going to buy another pair of shoes or whatever. I'm going to actually invest in owning part of this business, right? Um, so you can invest in a business, you can invest in real estate, you can invest in a mentorship, okay? Mentorship. You can invest in your education. Okay, so all of these are different investments. You can invest in your health. A gym membership is investing in your health. So as you see, you just gotta. it can be a lot of different things, but you want to know where primarily is my money going? Is it going on like buying a lot of clothes? Is it buying gadgets? Is it, am I shopping a lot? Am I doing too many movie theater? Am I taking too many trips? Like, you want to make sure that you don't have more liabilities than assets. You can invest even in your mindset. You can invest in your mindset. The problem is that most people only invest in what they can see now and not what they want to build for the future, right? Their eyesight is very limited. Okay. Now, let me kind of go through a little bit more in detail of one of the assets that I think people should really start to pay attention to. Okay. And actually let me piggyback on this. With the different types of assets in the stock market, there are different type of assets. I think some of the safest assets would be ETFs for a lot of people who are just starting. I love dividend stocks and any type of long-term growth play. Okay, so I do want to piggyback on that. Another investment, and I didn't mention this, you can invest in precious metals like gold or silver. You can invest in luxury assets like Rolexes, art, or collectible items. I didn't mention that. Um, just want to expand so you can have more than one avenue for this. Okay, and then let me talk about cryptocurrency. You can invest in cryptocurrency, and I want to talk about that because a lot of people are kind of afraid of cryptocurrency. And I do want to say, like, this isn't, I'm not giving you financial advice. I'm not a professional financial advisor. I'm just sharing with you some of the things I've learned along the way and sharing my experiences with this. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt, however you want. Just know that just let me say this. Anything that you invest, you got to be okay that you could lose it all. Now, there's some high probabilities that when you invest in certain businesses in the stock market and stuff, like I haven't, the stock market been around for hundreds of years. So I will say that. But I just have to say, just at your own risk. Okay. Now, cryptocurrency, a lot of people, especially the older generation, they are scared of crypto. And I get it. They think, is it a scam? It's too risky. Isn't that, how do what if somebody steal your stuff? And yeah, you do have to have a learning curve. You do have to learn how to take your cryptocurrency off of the platforms and take it off the blockchain, put it onto a ledger, or you can do it nano X or nano flex. They got all kind of stuff, right? Tangem. It's a bunch of stuff that they have that you can take it off and put it on a different, like, it's hard to explain, like a different device or whatever, so that it's not on the blockchain. So it is a learning curve. You got to move your cryptocurrency off. But okay, outside of that, just learning about it, it is another asset class. And I'm gonna tell you this. Let me just say this. The fact that some people don't understand cryptocurrency, I'm telling you right now, they are missing out on making so much money, because some of these and yes, there are risky memes and stuff out there. They make money, but even some of the cryptocurrency um that are like how do I use they're being utilized. Let's just say that, like, XRP is going to be utilized. Like, there's certain cryptocurrencies that are going to be utilized, so they hold, to me, a higher value when they're being utilized, right? And some of them have, like, I mean, some of them cryptocurrencies have had 1,000% returns, thousands. And we're still at the kind of the beginning stages. These things in the next 5 years, some of them that are being utilized are going to take off, and people are missing huge opportunities. And I sit back and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, people are so missing out just because they're not educated about this. And now even businesses are starting to buy crypto. So most of the businesses, they're putting their money into assets like cryptocurrency. And now they're about to come out with a lot of ETFs. They already got a Bitcoin ETF, right? And so a lot of people don't even know it, and they won't even touch it just because they don't know it. And instead of investing in themselves and being educated, they don't even understand. And I know, because I got cryptocurrency, but it's I'm telling you guys, you're missing out on some amazing returns, some amazing ROIs. And honestly, cryptocurrency is making people even more wealthier than the stock market. Don't get me wrong, the stock market is making people hundreds of thousands, millions of thousands, all of that. But there are people who have been being patient with, because sometimes crypto, you have to have patience. They have cycles, you know what I mean? And you have to be patient with the cycle. But boy, when that cycle comes, when you get in on stuff when it was like 5 cents, like I have some that was 5 cents, 10 cents, 20, 30 cents that are now, $3, $4. Like, do the math. Okay. Do the math, that are still going to go even higher. Some of those that are at that are at $3, around $3, are gonna eventually wind up being $10, $20. And then eventually at some point 50, just like Bitcoin is eventually gonna be worth $1 million. It's a time game. So somebody who got in on Bitcoin when it was $1, if they took $100, look at where it's at now. It's going to eventually go to 500,000, a million, and 2 million. I mean, eventually that could be an asset for your children's children that you just let sit and you leverage against. Y'all missing out on the game. Like, it's a game out there that's happening that y'all not participating in. And the big dogs and the businesses, they buying up all the Bitcoin. It's not going to be none left for you. You're done. Once this elevates to a certain place, you're done. You're going to be so overwhelmed when Bitcoin gets to, 500,000. You're not even going to want to even invest, because you're going to be like, oh, this is too much money. I don't want to invest in it. That's what people was when it was at 30,000, and I was telling people to invest in Bitcoin. They wouldn't, because it's like 30,000. Yeah, but you can have a piece of the pie. Like, so whatever, if you get 10% of the piece, if you took $3,000 when it's $30,000 and you get 10%, guess what? When it go to $1 million, you got 10% of that. When it go to $5 million, you got 10% of that. And let's say you adding along the way. Come on, y'all. Y'all missing it out. Y'all missing out on all of it, right? So, crypto is another asset, and a lot of, like I said, older people are afraid of it. And it is a digital form of money built on, like I said, a blockchain, where it's secure, it's trackable, but it's public ledger. Okay. And you can take it off the ledger. You can take it and put it on your ledger. You can take it off the blockchain, off the main, like if you're Coinbase, Kraken, what else? Binance. I mean, you can take it off there and put it on in other places, right? Uphold, that's another one, right? And so it is in digital form. It's secure, but there are some people who will scam you and try to get access to it and stuff. You just got to watch the scams, okay? And then there's some platforms that do have insurance on it, okay? So, but let me just say this again: big institutions are already building ETFs around it. That means that these cryptocurrencies are going to have now ETFs. And now the businesses are going to be buying up a lot of those ETFs. So it's going to elevate the value of these cryptocurrencies. Wall Street is getting involved. You know why? And now they at the point where it's like, I don't even want a 10% return. Like, people are making 30%, 100%, 200%, 300%, 800% returns on crypto. And we're still early. But most people, again, they're not going to benefit because they're not educated. Just get educated, right? Fear usually shows up when there's a lack of knowledge, right? It's just a lack of knowledge. So if you get more knowledge, you won't be afraid. Like, when I ask certain people and they like, isn't that, scammy, or is that, it's because you don't have knowledge on it, obviously. And I'm not every investment is a risk. When you do real estate, it's a risk. Okay. Things can go wrong. So I'm not telling you to throw all your money into crypto. Like, I think you should diversify your portfolio for sure. I think you should have some gold. I think you should have cash on hand. I think you should eventually invest in real estate. I think you should invest in businesses. I think you should invest in crypto. I think you should invest in the stock market. I think it's good to invest in art. Like, I believe in diversity. Okay. But I'm just naming something because people missing out, y'all. I'll show y'all in a couple years that y'all missed out on one of the greatest opportunities of your life. just because you're not being educated. Okay. So again, I'm not telling you throw all your money in crypto. I'm just bringing awareness. And again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing with you my experiences and things that I'm learning. Okay. But ask questions, pay attention, because whether you like it or not, the world is shifting. I want you to know that, right? All right. And let me just say something to those who feel stuck between like trusting God and taking financial risk. Okay. Here's what I learned. Faith does not mean ignoring wisdom. Let me just get that out there, because I don't want you to do something stupid and say, "Oh, I'm going to take all my bill money and start investing." No, there's a structure to this. Like, you need to have money to pay your bills and stuff. You need to pay off your debt, especially if you have high interest credit cards. I know all about that. Trust me, I've been there. I've done that. I have experienced it all. Okay. High interest credit cards will kill you, right? You'll be, I mean, I trust me, I know this for sure. And also, you need an emergency fund. What if something happened, your car breakdown or whatever? So like, why, if you're out spending money and doing a bunch of stuff and you don't have like 3 to 6 months worth of emergency fund, you're not in order. That's not order, y'all. Y'all got to get in order, because the one thing go wrong and then you don't have no money, and it's like, oh, last week I just bought all these new shoes. I went shopping. I went to this concert that cost me $1,000. Like, and you don't have an emergency fund, and if something go wrong, then you just left stuck. No, y'all, we got to get that part together. And then you can start building your investment portfolio. So faith comes with wisdom also. Okay, so I don't want you to just be doing dumb stuff, you know what I mean, and not having things together. Faith just means trusting God enough to learn, to grow, to steward over what you have, right? God doesn't ask us to chase money, but he also don't want us to bury what we have, what he has given us. And I talk about that a lot, the talents. He don't want us to bury it. He wants us to multiply. He wants us to use wisdom. All right. Someone said, I concur 100,000%. Yes, that's it right there. Right. He wants us to use wisdom and strategy and alignment. And sometimes that just means learning about things that I feel are new to me and maybe even uncomfortable to me, like investing. Okay. Because he's not just trying to bless you, he's trying to prepare you to manage more. Listen, he's trying to prepare you to manage more, right? You are, and listen, if you just listen to me, I promise you, a year from now, you're gonna thank me for saying this. If you act on this and you start implementing and you start investing and you start noticing what you're spending money on, and you start cutting back and say, I'm going to build an emergency fund. I'm going to pay off these credit cards. I'm going to start investing. I'm going to start doing research on cryptocurrency and what I can be investing in. Because trust me, some of the cryptocurrency right now at the prices that they're at, 1 or 2 years from now, some of these stock prices, 1 or 2 years from now, there are some brilliant companies. AI is about to take over the world. Listen, you're not secure. Your jobs are not secure. You might get a robot that replace you. Like, think about like 15 years ago, you could walk in a bank, there was customer service. Now you got machines and stuff. Like, AI is going to replace you. They're doing surgery on people, for God's sake. Okay. Heck, I don't know if they're going to be teaching in the classroom 5 years from now. You got the robots coming in there to teach. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to build, but you better have a game plan. And if you don't have no investments and you don't have no dividends, like you don't have something that's bringing you passive income, you could find yourself in a stuck place in between worlds trying to figure out, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then you don't have no AI knowledge. You're not tech savvy. You don't have no AI knowledge. You're not learning in that area. You're going to be behind. You got to do something. You got to do something. This investing is also a skill set. So you got to build that skill set. You got to get some stocks with some dividends that can pay you. Make sure you got a Roth IRA, like to help you with taxes. Y'all got to have a strategy. Don't make this overwhelming. Just say, listen, I'm going to start ABC. That's all you need. And when you start ABC, when you start with the first step, you're going to find yourself taking a second step, third step. And then a few years from now, you're going to be like, man, I am so happy I didn't keep up with the Joneses, twerking on social media, doing the most stupid stuff, right? That's all they worried about, is doing dumb stuff. And half of them are doing it to get some money and to get views and stuff. And then guess what they do with their money? They go spend it on stupid stuff because they don't have an investor mindset, right? You need a wealth mindset. All right. So God is calling you to become more prepared, to manage more. Famine will come. Days ahead. There are some bad days that's going to be ahead, y'all. You got to prepare. You got to prepare. You got to prepare to help. You're part of the kingdom. We got Josephs in here, right? That need to be prepared because everybody's not going to know what's to come, but you do, right? Because I'm giving you the gospel right now. I'm telling you to go get educated. Y'all laughing. Some of y'all laughing at me. I see the jokes. What y'all laughing at? Oh, twerking on social media. Y'all see it every day, right? Y'all see the stupid stuff that's happening, right? Wasted energy. You know, this was popular. Meanwhile, it's a whole group. Meanwhile, cryptocurrency conference coming up. Big ballers, shot callers, the real peoples is about to be participating, getting educated, finding out where's Bitcoin going. Is it going to be a reserve because the dollar is decreasing in value? Like what's going to happen? We got other nations getting involved in cryptocurrency. Come on, y'all. We got to get educated. We can't fall behind. Y'all see the stupid? I know y'all see the stupid. I mean, I laugh and it's kind of sad because some of it is a little entertaining. I have to be honest. And I run right to the comments, y'all. Who can I get an amen? Right to the comments to give me a nice little laugh, right? Right to the comments. All right. People are funny, y'all. People are so funny. But sometimes some of the stuff is ridiculous and very frustrating to watch our culture be grabbed up, with all the dumbness. I don't know. I'm trying to look for the right word, but it's toxic. It's toxic. It's toxic and unhealthy. All right, so let's bring that full circle because let me just say this too. I do have an opportunity for you to. I have a challenge that oh my God, we are killing it over there. We got some people who started investing, open up their brokerage account. They are learning how to even read charts. Because if you get some of your investments and you don't know how to do basic reading of charts, nothing professional, like kindergarten level even, you'll be able to manage your assets a lot better. We're kind of used to letting our with retirement plans, and that's fine. If you have a job where they offer you that, man, get it, especially if they're matching it and stuff like that, get it. But it also, you can have your own brokerage account and you can manage and learn how to learn about different businesses, how they're doing their reportings, and just invest in good businesses, and especially ETFs. They're the safest thing. They like a VTI, SCHD is a dividend. A growth, SCHG is a growth stock. VUG, QQQ, that's the tech ETF. Oh my God, they give great returns. Those are a really safe place. They can give 10 to 12%. On some good years, even 20%, right? That's what they're averaging. But hey, they're assets, very safe assets that accumulate, and with the compounding effect. And then if you get into certain companies that are that can give you 300% returns, man, it's crazy out here. And I watch it every day because I'm a part of being educated in investments. So you cannot build long-term wealth from a body that's running on fumes. And so that's why I created our challenge to help people with their health and wealth, because they work together, right? The same principles flow through one another. And so we got some people that's killing it and that's growing, being educated, learning how to manage their body, manage their finances, and just really having a ton of wins. And life is starting to reflect back some amazing things, right? Because when we get ourselves in order, life starts to reflect it back. And so whether it's, we're, helping to heal, because sometimes it's hard to make healthy decisions. Some of you now, you can't make healthy decisions because your nervous system is irregulated. It's not regulated, right? You don't have the gift of calm, okay? Because you're full of anxiety and can't sleep at night, and, you're racing thoughts and just got so much going on. And it's just so much clutter in your brain, in your mind, even maybe in your environment, right? So you need to learn how to regulate your nervous system to make good decisions with the executive part of your brain, right? And then some people, your metabolism is not functioning correctly, so you don't have the energy to do this type of stuff. Your mind is foggy, your emotions are dysregulated. It's just so much going on, right? And if that's going on, you're going to either sabotage your wealth and your health, or you're going to just mismanage it. Okay. And so we don't separate health and wealth in our 90-day challenge because your ability to multiply externally is directly tied to your clarity and your capacity internally. And so that's why we love to really get that part of us in order and grow and develop, right? So if you've been stuck in your health or your finances, or unclear about what's next, or even just overwhelmed by all of it, I'm just overwhelmed, I don't know what to do. Let's just take a moment and fix that together, right? And so you can join the 90-day health and wealth challenge. If you have questions, or even you're the least bit inspired by me talking about this, or you're inquisitive about it, you want to learn more, you want to know what is this all about, just go to breakbigbarriers.com and you'll get some information on that, right? Breakbigbarriers.com. Like I said, we're rebuilding metabolism, resetting the nervous system. We're developing a strong mindset to help you get clear about your next moves, your wealth moves, your health moves, and learning how to think like a multiplier, okay, and an investor. Listen, the world is shifting, y'all, all right? And we don't fear it, we prepare for it. So let's do it together, right? All right. So breakbigbarriers.com is also in the description below, and it will be in the description below in this video. However, for you who's watching on Instagram, it will not be available on Instagram, because once Instagram closes out, once this video closes out, it will not save on Instagram. It will save on my YouTube page. So go to @Dr. Camila Stevenson, and you'll see, and you can go to where my live videos are, and that's where you'll see this video and all the other videos that I do live. I do a lot of live videos. So if you're on Instagram watching right now, you may miss some of my lives, and we talk about some really great stuff, very valuable information. So again, go to @Dr. Camila Stevenson, subscribe to the page, because then you'll know when I'm releasing videos. I'm doing a lot of videos there too. I'm spending a lot of my time there. It's a great community we're building, and I really do listen to my audience to help me to know what videos to make. So I'm there to serve the community and add value in the best way possible. And so @Dr. Camila Stevenson, go there, subscribe, turn on your notifications. You'll see the video. Again, breakbigbarriers.com is where we're doing our 90-day health and wealth challenge. And if you are interested, just go there. It doesn't mean that you're going to commit to anything, but if you are the least bit interested, just go to breakbigbarriers.com. All right. All right. I'm happy I got you inspired. Yes. Thank you. Someone said the YouTube channel is fire. Love it. @Dr. Camila Stevenson. Thank you, Bree. I love you. All right. I'll be back on to do some more. Let me put in the chat real quick if you have if you don't, that's fine, but put in the chat real quick if there's something that you would want me. Hey, Shaniqua, I see you in here. All right, I see you in here. Hey, I just saw you. I'm looking at two different chats, right? If there's something you want me to talk about, put it in the chat real quick. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Like if there's something you're struggling with, or you want me to talk about or do a training on, I'll do a live training the next few times. If there's something that lacking, gang, love it. If there's anything that you want me to talk about, throw it in the chat and I'll take a look at it. If you don't, that's fine. I'm gonna always come up with something. There's so much to talk about out here, right? So I'm just waiting to see if anybody put anything in. Giving you another like 30 seconds or so, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you guys enjoyed the live. Man, let's do some big things. We got a half a year left. Let's do some big things the rest of the year, y'all. Discipline, okay. Investment training, okay. Let me write that down. Okay. Investment training and discipline. Yvette, when you say investment training, what specifically? How to invest, how to open up a brokerage account? Is there anything specific? You touched it all. Land investment, okay. And you guys know I do have real estate. I have properties. I've done Airbnb. Let's see, discipline. Okay, writing this down. Thank you guys. I'm happy you enjoyed it. Inflammation, diabetic type 2. Got it. I'm writing it down. Okay. Inflammation. That's a good one. Absolutely. The root of all diseases, inflammation. Real quick, just a couple of, I literally opened up a brokerage account last night on Vanguard. Yes, I feel like this is confirmation for me, and I definitely am not familiar with investments. Got it. Okay. Financial literacy. Okay. Got it. All right. Well, yep. I got all this grace and provision. Okay. Is that ADHD? Okay. Grace and provision, financial literacy. REITs, yes. That means you can own. You don't have to actually own the home. You can own. You can put your money in the investment REITs and kind of own the home as a like a passive investor in a sense. But you don't own the actual property. And so REITs are really great. A lot of people are loving REITs and getting some great returns off of REITs. All right. Autoimmune. I'm writing this down, guys. Autoimmune, anemia, okay, anemia, and low iron, how it affects the body. Okay. All right. I will be doing some live training on some of these topics. So I just wrote them down, and maybe some short videos that can give you some valuable content on them. All right. So I just want to stick around for just a few minutes and get you all's feedback, because that's what I'm here for. I love you guys. Thank you guys for rocking with me. It's always just a pleasure being able to be with you and just rock with you. You guys just really brighten my day. I will say that. And I love this community. All right. I will make sure that I continue to get back on and do some more live trainings for you. I got my marching orders and I got some of the suggestions that you guys have. And I'll be talking more about that in the future days. All right. You guys have a blessed day. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.